Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Richard and Paul's Read Along. Yeah, we're back. I know it's been a while, but we have chosen a couple more books that we're going to read in February, and we'd like you to join us to read along. And then the next episode will be a live show to talk all about those books that we've chosen. So Paul, let's kick off with you to begin with. What is your choice of book this month?
Well, last month we had quite a old book, and this is quite an old book as well. But where last month it was Dickens and various other writers of his time, with quite an advanced reading age. I read the other day that this book has got a reading age of 9 to 11. So it might be one reason why I read it quite early on in my life. And it is Agatha Christie's The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which is her first book. And even though we think of Agatha Christie very much as a, English/British writer, which of course she was and is, because they're still being published, but not new ones obviously. I didn't realise that the first time that this book was published was actually in the United States in 1920, and it was only a year later, in 21, that it was published for the first time in the UK. So yeah, we're looking at reading a book that is basically 100 years old this month. And of course it's, as well as being her first book, it's the first appearance of Poirot. So it's quite a twisty, turny book. I have read it before many years ago. I've been a great fan of Agatha Christie all of my life, and I had the whole collection as fake leather-bound books, which we gave away. But in my teens, I collected all of her books as well in paperback. And Vivi has given me a couple of the hardback books with paper sleeves. And I look at them and they're so pretty, particularly those around the 30s, 40s, 50s. And maybe I might start collecting those at some point. I've got about 5 or 6 at the moment. But yeah, so we're looking at Agatha Christie, and interestingly, I'd mentioned this on Sunday Chat, Agatha Christie had an aunt who lived up the road from us in Hanwell, and she stayed there for a couple of months over a summer. So she may have even walked down our streets like 15 years ago or something like that. So yeah, that is my book for February. Agatha Christie's The Mysterious Affair at Styles.
Thank you, Paul. How bloody interesting.
And what is your book, Richard?
So, as I said at the beginning of this series, what I tend to do is I very rarely explore new books unless they are factual books, unless they're books on space and things like that. I enjoy reading those kind of things, learning new stuff. I'm not particularly into novels that much. I have read a few over the years, but reading for me doesn't always give me a great amount of pleasure. I like to reread things I've read before. And this time round is no exception, although I've not read this book for many years. In fact, I don't think I've read it as an adult. I don't know. Maybe. But I bought a new copy of this book not so long ago and never ended up reading it. I think I read a little bit of it, but I never read it. And the book I have chosen, or books, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. And I've got this lovely, lovely copy, which didn't come with a dust jacket.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But it is with the original illustrations by Sir John Tenniel. which I love.
He likes books with pictures, don't you?
I do like books with pictures, but I think this has to have pictures. And I'm rereading it as an adult to hopefully get a different perspective on it, because they are multi-layered books. There's all sorts of hidden things in these books. And in fact, there's a hidden mystery in Lewis Carroll's name as well, which I will talk about in the next video. So that's what I've chosen. Gorgeous cover illustration, lovely glossy cover illustration. And the thing I like about this version is it is the original text. So in terms of the original layout.
Right.
So, for example, the mouse's tail is written in text in the form of a tail. And I noticed, I think I had a look at the Kindle edition and it didn't have that, which took away that magic. So, that's what I'm reading.
And I haven't read that for ages, so hopefully I'll be able to get through it as well.
Well, I love it because it does bring back childhood memories, and especially with Through the Looking Glass, which is all about Alice discovering the world that exists through the mirror, which is a world of opposites. And I remember as a child being fascinated by mirrors. I have video evidence of that, film evidence of that.
You do?
Yeah, and after reading this, I remember trying to get through the mirror, just touching the mirror repeatedly, just in case. And I also remember discovering how to create an infinity tunnel with 2 mirrors as well. And spending probably far too much time looking down the infinity tunnel, expecting something to come up through the tunnel. So when I read this, that kind of brought to life my fascination with mirrors. So yeah, I'm looking forward to leaping into these worlds and rediscovering that magic from childhood, and rediscovering perhaps other meanings, because he was a multi-layered writer. He was interested in maths and physics, and I think that influenced his writing, because he very often turns logic on its head. So, but we'll talk more about that in the next video, the live show, when we've actually read the books.
Yeah. So there we are, Agatha Christie's Mysterious Affair at Styles and Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass.
Yeah, so join us to read these classics, and yeah, let's see how we get on. So thank you for joining us today in this brief video, just to introduce the books, and we'll see you
in about a month's time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the review that you can discuss with us on the live show. So thanks for watching, thanks for following, thanks for subscribing, and yeah, take care. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.